Hi, here's a tutorial on how to make a fondant elephant. So here's a quick run through. You'll need some grey fondant. It was white and I mixed it with some black colouring gel. Some pink fondant, some white fondant, and some black fondant for the eyes. A ball tool, a rolling pin, some icing sugar, and a brush, and obviously some water. So if you're ready, we'll start. So to start, we're going to make the torso of the elephant. This is for beginners. It's not going to be an elephant that would be very lifelike. It's more like a cuddly toy type elephant, ideal for a baby shower or christening cake. So we need to soften this fondant up before we work with it, because we want it more malleable. So you need to start kneading it, and what I tend to do is I roll it in on itself, and then we need to smooth that fondant. We don't want to be working with bumps and lumps and tears. We want it smooth. So I'm just rolling it in my hands until I'm happy with the circle. So I'm making a ball, a large one. Okay. We don't want any creases in it, if we can help it. Alright. If there's the odd one, that's fine. So there's my ball shape. I'm wanting to make its tummy and its neck so that the head can fit on. So placing the ball in your hand, like so, we're going to roll the end using your finger at first, the end, turning it, and as you can see it's starting to form a neck like a vase, okay? And we're turning as I go. Alright. And then, okay. It's kind of like a 10-pin bowling pin. That's a good. And now we're going to narrow, using your hand to narrow the neck. Alright, try to keep it as smooth as you can. And I use my fingers for that. Some people don't bother, but I like it smooth. But you don't have to. I just like it like that, okay. Now, fondant, because of gravity, will have a tendency of pulling down. So always make it a little bit longer or higher than you would normally, because as it sits and tries to dry, it will become shorter. Alright, so I like his little tummy. Okay, his little tummy. Now I think he'll need a little tummy button. Alright, so we're going to make a tummy button. And I'm using the ball tool. So now that I'm relatively happy with him, I'm going to make a hole. Anything will do. You can use a toothpick. It doesn't necessarily have to be this. And I'm just going to place it, and I'm making a circular motion so that you can see it. Alright, if it's just a dot, the fondant will close up. Okay, you need it large enough to be able to see. Alright? And I'm happy with that. I'm just using that just to give it an indentation of his tummy. Alright? Okay. But as you can see, that's the beginning, and that's how difficult it is. That's an elephant's body. Alright? So now I'm going to set up, before I do, for the head I use a cocktail stick and I place it in, but first I just put a touch of water on it, just so it sticks inside. You don't want the cocktail stick moving about. So placing the cocktail stick in, go all the way to the bottom, and that will allow the head to stick on perfectly. Alright, okay. I've got two balls here. Now I've decided to do the arms and the legs first. And the legs are slightly larger, so these are going to be the legs, and this is going to be for the arms. Alright, so we're going to do the arms first. I'll put that away for now. And we need to soften this again. I'm not missing steps, I'm showing you how it's done. I'm not going to just do a fast forward video of me making the elephant and you missing all of the little stages in between, because that's not really being fair to you, especially if you're a beginner. So I'm just softening the fondant before I start, and I'm rolling it into a ball, and I'm wanting two arms. So I'm rolling it into a sausage, alright, okay, and that's not for any particular reason, only to find the centre so I can cut relatively even the two arms. So I'm using the same amount of fondant. I'll cut that in half-ish, and roll each one into a ball for the arms, okay. So that's how you can make them the same size relatively. Alright, it doesn't have to be exact. So to make the arm, get your ball, make sure it's relatively smooth. I'll just move that out of the way. And then you're using the tip of the ball and your finger, start rolling. Alright? And as you can see, it's making this shape. See? Yeah. Yeah. And I'm just flattening that part of it so it's more like an elephant's foot or hand. Has an elephant got a hand? I doubt it. And as I go to the top of it, I really want it flat, or as now it looks odd. Alright, just I'll put it down so I can show you. It looks odd. Alright, I'm just smoothing. And I'm going to smooth it like so. Okay. I'm smoothing as I go. And this is going to be one of the arms. So getting some water with the brush, I'm not putting it on here, I'm just going to put some water. Don't use too much, try and use it sparingly. I'm going to put the first on, alright, like so, alright, like that. And then no, I haven't got a knife on me. That's brilliant, isn't it? I'm going to use this. I'm just going to cut that excess off, like so. Alright. And you can mould the arm as you wish, like that. It's just to give it, there's more detail to go on there. And I will put some more detail on. But it's just to get the first hand on. Alright. And the head will hide the join. If you put the head on first and then the arms will look like they're coming from the lower section. You want it to look like it's starting from the shoulder as it would in real life. And I'm just smoothing that now, as you can see. Now again, we start with the other. So rolling into a ball again, just to make sure it's smooth. I like to make sure that what I'm working with is smooth before I start. I'm putting it in my hand, but I would usually use the work surface but I'm wanting to show you. Start rolling from the top. Again, I'm moving down like so. and you're wanting it relatively the same size, so I'm okay with that. And flattening it, and then placing it down just to make sure it's smooth. Okay, and then in my hand rolling the end to a point. All right, and then placing it down, and then okay, smoothing it, because it will need to be thinner at the top and then go out to its size at the bottom, just like this. So, am I happy? Just to do a bit of test. Yeah, I'm happy. So again, with a little water, as I say, less is more. You can always put more on if you need it. Just put a little bit of water on where you require it around the neck. And we're going to place the second. I hope that you can see that. I hope you can. Yeah. Pressing it down, but gentle pressure. You don't want to push this. I mean, normally I would wait till this dried before I start working on the arms, but I'll dry a bit more. And because I haven't got a knife, I'm using a ruler, so it's not very tidy. And I'm just going to cut off that excess and throw that away. I won't need that now. And that's it. Now that should hopefully dry. Now, because I need extra stability, I'm just going to lift that arm, place a little bit on, and with the glue on. So lift, place underneath, and that will just stick. It will just stick. Okay, it will just stick. So now I'm going to start with the legs. So 2 seconds. Okay, the same process, rolling it into a ball and trying to get it as not brilliantly even, not that accurate. I don't go for that much accuracy, but roll it into a short sausage-like shape, and then finding the centre round about. Cut it in half. Don't use a ruler like me, please. Okay, we're gonna roll into balls. Now these are slightly larger because the feet I want to look a little bit larger. So here we go. First foot. Roll into a ball, making sure it's smooth before you begin. And then again, rolling. If you can hear a kind of noise, that's my dog being a pain, as usual. She is definitely a pain. And as you can see, it's the beginning of the foot shape. And then as you get to the bottom, we're going to roll that thinner. Alright? Okay. Just a little bit thinner. Alright. And then when I'm happy, which I think I am, I'm going to bring this into focus a bit better. I'm going to put some glue, not on the leg, because I don't want to get my hands sticky. I just want to put some on around the base there. And then using my hands, sorry about this. There's one of the legs. Cute, don't you think? Alright. I'm happy with that. And we're going to do the same. I mean, you can have it moved out if you want ever so slightly. But I'm going to do the same with the next ball. Roll smoothly. When you're happy, rolling naturally into a leg. Just going to flatten that out a little because it's an elephant's foot. It's quite flat. And then this needs to be narrower. So rolling so it's narrow. Place it down, it's always a good judgment. And you want them round about the same size. Well, that's not quite. So this is a good example. That's not quite the same size, I don't think. So instead of adding more fondant, just push it back together, especially if you move fast enough. And then rather than going high up to roll, move it down so you're getting a larger foot, like so. Checking it. That's more like it. So rolling it down, thinning it off like this. Okay. Yeah. That's more like it. Yeah. Smoothing it in and then narrowing it off at the bottom like that. Again, a little bit of glue on the side where the leg will go, and then there. Push that on, and there you have it. So that's the basics. Now more detail will go on. I'll put little white toes and little white fingernails as well, but I'll do that after I've done the head. So I'm going to set up now and get the head ready. I'll be right back. Okay, we're ready to rumble. I've put a toothpick in the arm for the trunk. Alright, just a little bit of a toothpick. It just gives it more sturdiness. Now the head's not the easiest thing to make. Practice makes perfect, but look, it's your first attempt as a beginner, so let's just do this. So I've got my head shape. It's all kind of relative. Alright, so you've just got to judge by eye to see what you think. Now I don't add a trunk to the head, I actually make the trunk with the head, so you're just going to have to bear with me on it. And this is what you do. So you make the head shape as smooth as you can. Alright, you don't want any cracks. Well, I don't like any cracks in it. So I'm happy with the head shape. So right from the bottom, we're going to, like we did with the leg, we're going to try and make the trunk. Alright? So I'm just rolling it, as you see. A little bit like an upside down leg. You know how we did the leg with the finger? So this way it's the other way around. Alright? Not too much pressure at first, because it's the trunk we want to get right. Okay, and we don't want to put pressure on the head either, so we're just going gently. Can you see how it's starting to take shape? Like so. I'm going to flatten what will be the face, and again keep going, rolling. I usually do this on a work surface, but I wanted to show you how it's done. And we're there. I'm just going to push that now, because with my hands I want it smooth. People think, oh, why go to these lengths, just make it. But I want it to look like an ornament rather than something out of fondant, so I think that's why I tend to go to these lengths. And I'm quite happy with that shape. Can you see how it's coming together? Now we need to make the trunk go around, so very gently, we're just going to curve it. Now there's a little bit of a crack there. I can see it, I don't know if you can. And I'm a stickler. So what I'm going to do with my ball tool is try and smooth it. Okay, doesn't look like it at the moment, but it will work. Using your ball tool and rubbing, it'll stop the crack. And at the base I want a kind of a hole inside the trunk so it looks real. So I'm just going to put a ball tool in there just to give it some make it look more lifelike. And then a couple of lines here where it turns. And again, it's just adding a little bit of detail. Okay, so now we're going to try and get the head on. Actually, I'll do the eyes for you because I don't want to do it there. It's easier for me to show you while it's on there. You can do the eyes while it's on there, but not today. I'm going to do it here. So with a ball tool, you're going to make a hole. A toothpick would be okay, but I would definitely invest in a ball tool. They do come in handy. I'm not going to get down, Daisy. Get down. I'm sorry about that. I'm going to do 2 eyes. I'm not going to do them too high up. I'm going to do them about here. So 1 eye here, and evenly 1 eye here. Okay, and then I'm going to make a teardrop shape. So put the ball tool in and just gently push up, like up, to make a teardrop, and again up to make a teardrop, like that. Don't know if you can see how it's working out. And we're ready now. I'm going to do some eyebrows just by using this. 1 there and 1 there. It's just to add some life. And we're going to stick it down. So with a little bit of edible glue or water in this instance, just place it around the neck, not actually on the head that you've made. And we're going to place it on. Alright, so are you ready? That goes on like that, and where I've made the toothpick, I'm just going to push that on there, and I'm going to mould it. Alright, just going to mould it, and using a tool just to give it more life, like so. And he's on. He's finally on. The head is on. And there's basically the head done. I'm just going to smooth it because I like to smooth once it's on. Like that. Now you can in fact put a smile on, so I could with that just make a smile like this. So, just to add more detail, give it a smile. But that's the head on. Now that will need to dry for at least 5 minutes before you start the ears. So I'm going to put the kettle on and I'll be right back. Alright, I'm ready to make the ears. So I've got some grey and some pink and a cookie cutter. And I'm going to show you how to make the ears. So I'm going to start with the grey and I'm going to roll it out. Not too thin, because I want to roll it a little bit thinner once I've cut them out with the cookie cutters or scone cutters. So that's okay, so that's fine. I'll put that to the side, and now I'm going to start on the pink. Now the pink has to be a little bit thinner. Alright, now this is a bit dry because I've left it out really. I should have covered it. But move quickly and you shouldn't have too many problems. As I say, this just needs to be a little bit thinner than the grey, because that's going to go on the inside of the ears, if you understand. Okay. Alright, that's okay. So I'll just put that there. I'm just going to roll this a little bit thinner actually. Ooh, a little bit thinner. I've just put my icing sugar shaker just against the elephant, just to keep it from moving. Anything would do. So I'm going to cut 2 circles out like that. Alright, and I'm going to actually roll them a little bit thinner, but don't worry about that. So I'm going to cut 2 circles out for the ears. Okay, so with my circle for my ears, they don't have to be perfect, they just need to be a little bit thinner. And I'm making them larger, a little bit larger. Alright, so that's okay. It's okay. Elephant ears aren't perfect circles, just to say, just in case anybody's thinking, well, that's not a perfect circle. Wait, I don't think elephant ears are circles, so we're fine. Alright, so that's okay. I'll put that over there. I'll make that one a little bit bigger because there. Alright. Now we're going to make the ears, so I'll move them closer to you. Yeah. And I'm just going to take these, and again I'm going to just roll them out of their shape. It's just so they're no longer a perfect circle. I don't want them to be a perfect circle. Sounds strange, but it's true. Okay. Oops. Don't worry. That's nipped a bit. That's okay. Yeah. So I want to place the pink onto the grey. So with a little bit of water or edible glue, I'm just going to place some glue down like that, and then place the pink over like so. Okay, looking cute. Looking cute. Alright. Alright. And flatten that down. Using your finger just to smooth off the edges so it looks like one piece of fondant. Like that. Alright. Alright. So we're going to start doing the ears. So lifting, I'm just going to smooth off the edges using my fingers. I'm just pressing it down to make sure that the pink is tightly fixed to the grey, like that. I don't want it to come off when I'm putting the ears on. And again, pushing on like that. Okay. Yeah. That's cute. And then we need to glue the head. Alright? Not a lot. Just a bit to start with. You can always add more. Alright? So, hope to not get in your way. So from the middle, I'm placing it on like that, neatly. And then as we go around the back, I'm just going to glue the back of the neck so that the ear sticks to that and comes forward. You're wanting the ear to come forward. And then I'm folding to add movement to the ear. So, ear as I go, and I want some on the arm like that, like this. So the ear looks lifelike. Yeah? You understand? I'm wanting to give it movement. Maybe a couple of folds like that. Give it some life. Yeah. Yeah. And then with the other half, the other ear, again, place some on the head first. You can always go in and place some on other areas. Again, holding it. I hate to be in your way, but I'm going to put some on the back of the neck, some glue to hold it in place, like so. and then I'm pushing it forward. Okay, and then again folding, giving it some movement, and I probably need a little bit of glue actually, so I'll use that like so, she says. They don't have to be exact, okay, sorry, they don't have to be identical, but you just want these on display because obviously it won't be an elephant without them. And you've still got the opportunity to mould it whatever you need to, like so, like that. And that's the base of the elephant done. And now we just need to add the details, which I'm going to put some tufts of hair, some black eyes, and some fingernails and some toenails. So I'll set up now and show you how to do that. Right, I've got a little bit of black, a little bit of white, and a little bit of grey left from the elephant. So I'm just going to add some details now. I'm going to put some tufts of hair, alright, just to make him more fun, jolly, whatever. So you just need tiny amounts like this into a ball. We're going to make a teardrop effect like so, and then we're going to make a teardrop at that end, and then we have to make a teardrop at that end. So we now fold that side in so it's kind of like a squiggly diamond. Using some water, I'm just going to dab the top. Okay, I've actually made a little hole, I don't know if you can see, just in the top, and that's for that to go into. So you have to be a bit gentle, it's trial and error. Can you see I've popped it in? But then we need to mould it, and I want it maybe like a kiss curl, and you see, like so, and then maybe one behind it. So just make a little hole in the top, and the same principle. Okay, a little bit of grey, you don't need a lot, into a ball, into a teardrop, turn it, and a little teardrop at the other end so it sticks in the hole, like so. A touch of water, you don't need a lot, just so it sticks in side, and then place. Sorry, I haven't got very delicate hands. Ah! Not at all. There, so that's in, and then just to shape it now, you can use anything you want, but it's just to add some hair, and I always think things look well in threes, so I'm going to do a third one just behind neatly. It's already got some glue in, so one more, a little bit, maybe a little bit less than that. It's trial and error. Just, there's no science to this. You don't have to put the hair in. You can leave it as it is. I just have decided to do that. And the third one, now bear in mind I'm at a dodgy angle. You might be looking at it straight, but I'm not. I'm seeing it from the side, so it's a little bit more awkward. And it just gives it a little bit of life. So we're going to do the toenails and the fingernails. And this is so easy. You create some little circles. I'll only do one hand and one foot, okay, because I don't want to bore you. So I just put a little bit of glue on there and a little bit on there. It was actually water, this, but you know. And I'm going to place and then flatten it. You can use your hand, but because it's glue, I tend not to, because I don't like to touch it because it'll get my fingers all sticky. And again, another little round ball. Okay, use your finger, place it down, and then flatten it down, like so. Aren't they looking cute? Yeah? Okay, I'll do one more. Little ball. Press down and flatten it and go all the way around and all the way around here. But I'm just going to do the eyes and then I'll show you what it's done when it's finished. What it looks like when it's finished. I'm going to put a little bit of glue or water inside the eye holes, like that. Don't need a lot, just a bit. And with a little bit of black. Now this is, I haven't coloured this black. It's very difficult to get a real good black colour by mixing it with gel colour. So I just tend to use it already made when it comes to black. But that's a personal preference. So we want two eyes and we want them round about the same size. So I want to roll a ball like so. I don't know if you can see it because it's on my black work surface, and you want them around the same size. That one's slightly bigger. I'm just going to take a tiny amount off. Again, it's just plain by ear, plain by elephant ears. So I'm quite happy with that. And then I'm going to, now that they're the same size, I'm just going to make them into a teardrop shape, like that. Can you see? And I'm just going to place them on, and then flatten down, like so. Okay, you see? Yeah. And again, a teardrop shape. Place it in. See? And just flatten the base down. Alright. So it goes into a point like this. It'll look quite cute. Just gives them, and then if you wanted to, you can add a little bit of white. And all you do is, you can use white paint, but I'm just going to add a little bit of white. So get a tiny amount of white, tiny, 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 roll it into a ball and place it on. And then with something else other than your finger, flatten it down and do the same with the other eye. Tiny ball, place it with your finger and try and keep it on the same angle, like that. And there you have. So there's my elephant, made from scratch, the slow way, because I've had to show you everything. I'll come back in a couple of minutes to show you what it looks like once it's finished with all its toenails. I'll be right back. Okay, I've made the elephant and I've placed him on a cake board just so you can see what it would look like if it was actually a cake. And I've made a little towel or mat for the elephant to sit on, which I think is quite cute. I've put his toenails on and his little fingernails, and he's not quite dry. He'd probably take overnight before he's firm. But as you can see, he's so cute. He is cute. And just to add a little bit more detail, I've made a little duck and a teddy bear and a dummy, so I'll put them on now. So I don't know, I'll put the duck here. So I've just put some glue down for the duck to sit on. Okay, and I think the little dummy, kind of work out where you want it, but I think I'll put the dummy here. So a little bit of glue, and I'll put my dummy or pacifier on there like so. And then I've made a little teddy bear, because obviously the elephant wants a little teddy bear to help him get through the night while he's drying overnight. So I've made a little miniature teddy bear, and I'll just pop him on there like so. But you can add or take away what you want. You don't have to have it like that. I just decided that I'd make a few embellishments at the last minute just to show you how effective it can look. And I hope you've liked this tutorial. I know it was slow, but I didn't want to miss anything out. Stay tuned, there will be more tutorials coming shortly. Have a nice day, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.